Are you tired of the complicated and stressful nursing processes in the US and UK? What if there is a hidden opportunity where nurses are in high demand, the process is quick, there is no need for IELTS, CBT or NCLEX? You could also get perks like a tax-free salary, a 2-bedroom apartment with bills covered, uniform allowance, an end of contract bonus, and so much more. Now, if you are a nurse and you are willing to relocate, or you recently passed your NCLEX and waiting for your date to be current, this could be the perfect chance for you to gain experience, earn a great salary, and live the island life whilst you wait. Too good to be true, right? Stick around. This might be the opportunity you've been waiting for. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. My name is Manuel. If today is your first time, click on the subscribe button. Click on the bell notification so that you don't miss any updates or any videos that we post here. On this platform, we talk everything nursing, jobs, migration, finance, and anything that will help us to grow. And one of the things we talk about mainly on this channel is conferences. And this year, the biggest nursing congress, which is the ICM Congress, is happening in Finland, Helsinki. And it promises to be very engaging and interesting. So if you have not registered for the Congress, kindly do so that we will meet somewhere around 9th and 13th of June 2025. Every nurse on this planet is coming to Helsinki, Finland. So if you are a nurse, don't lose guard. Now let's go on to today's topic. So I've been receiving countless messages from nurses and NCLEX passers and people who are frustrated by UK's recruitment process, and they are looking for different places to go and work, So the research team in KLB Studios, we hit our research element. Boom! We delve into the spirit and we reveal some hidden gem in the Caribbean. And this place that we are coming to talk about is the Bahamas. Now, over the past few years and months, we've been hearing that nurses have been moving from Ghana to Barbados and other Caribbean countries. But I also realized that most people do not know about Bahamas and nursing in Bahamas. And you have to know that Bahamas is one of the richest Caribbean countries. So today we are coming to talk about nursing in Bahamas and why as a nurse you have to work in Bahamas. Because I was thinking like working in Bahamas is just like being on a long time holiday, because that place is a typical holiday location. So imagine working in Bahamas, Charlie. It's going to be fun and it comes with so many perks. Now before we delve into the details, let's look at something about Bahamas. So Bahamas is an island paradise and it's made up of 700 islands, and they have around 2,400 keys. So the keys, they are like small elevation of islands that is made of sand, coral or limestone, and these are just embedded in the sea. Now out of these 700 islands, only 30 of them are habitable, and they are just located off the coast of Florida. So from Bahamas to Florida is not a very long journey, and the capital city of Bahamas is Nassau. And before this video or this research, all I knew about Bahamas was their crystal clear water, sandy beach and vibrant culture. And I know that Bahamas is everyone's dream vacation spot. I have friends in the US, and anytime I call them, they will tell me they are going to Bahamas for holidays. Now let's look at why Bahamas could be a perfect destination for nurses. I have listed some points here, and let's start with the first most important one, which is the attractive salary. So as a nurse in Bahamas, you can earn a minimum of $30,000 per year. So in the whole year, if you combine your salary, this is going to accumulate to $30,000 in a whole year. Now you'll be thinking about tax, because you will think that, oh, when tax comes in, their salary is going to reduce. Now note that in Bahamas, you are not going to pay tax. There is no personal tax. Your salary comes in full and there is no deductions. How is this possible? And one important point you have to notice is that one Bahamian dollar is equal to one US dollar. So this is fixed, and if you go into the country, they spend the Bahamian dollar and the US dollar together. Now that we've talked about salary and tax, let's go on to the second point, which is salary advance. Now if you work in Bahamas, you have access to salary advances as needed. Yes, and the third point is paid leave. So if you are a nurse in Bahamas, you enjoy 4 weeks of paid leave each year. So each year you get 4 weeks free. If you decide to go on vacation somewhere, come back to Africa or go anywhere else, you'll be paid during those periods. Now they also pay 20 days sick leave. 20 days. If you get sick, you not go to work, you'll be paid. Hey UK. Oh my god. In UK here, like 99.9% of places If you don't go to work because you are sick, you are not going to be paid. But in Bahamas, the opposite is true. You get up to 20 days sick leave. And I also read somewhere that if you get sick for like 6 months, you get half your salary. Charlie, this is mind busting. Now let's go on to the fourth point. This is free medical care. So if you are a nurse in Bahamas, you don't need to pay for any prescription, you don't need to pay top-ups, you don't need to pay for any health insurance, a charge or anything. No, healthcare is free in Bahamas. Now let's go on to the next point why you should move to the Bahamas, and this is 8 days of compassionate leave. We are still talking about leave again. 8 days compassionate leave. Serious. Now let's go on to the next point, which is English speaking. So people in Bahamas speak English. Their official language is English, and this makes communication easy for you. Now let's talk about the climate. There is no harsh winters in Bahamas. That is, it has become a top destination for tourists, and you have to know that most of their income or most of the revenue that they get in Bahamas come from tourism. So you can imagine how the weather is. The climate is very cool, no harsh winters. There is a tropical weather all year round. Now let's go on to the next point, which is the strong health sector. So in Bahamas, they have a very strong healthcare system, and they need nurses to fill all these gaps. So if you are a nurse, what are you waiting for? Just follow up this video, and after we've gone through everything, you should change your mind and hop into the next available flight to Bahamas, of course after you've done your registration. Now the next point is mind busting, because after I have scripted this video, I had to go online to double check, triple check, quadruple check to see if this information is correct, and it says that you receive over $3,100 annually as uniform allowance. Hey, $3,100 as uniform allowance. Charlie, you all have to go to Bahamas. So this is even more than the salary of a nurse who is working in a particular sector in UK here, and I won't mention names because I can get some stray bullets. So this is just for uniform allowance alone, $3,100. Now let's go on to the next one, which is accommodation. If you are a nurse and you are recruited by the Bahamian government, or you work in the government hospital in Bahamas, you are going to get 1 month accommodation free after you have moved to Bahamas. Now there is some extra perks when it comes to accommodation, but I'll mention that one later. Now let's go on to dependents. So if you are a nurse and you are recruited to Bahamas, note that you can also bring your dependents along, your wife and your children under the age of 18. And you have to know that when you go with your wife or when you go with your husband, even though you have a work permit, they also have to facilitate their own work permit. I think that's a bit tricky, but it's still good if you are able to get into the country. You can facilitate all of these so that your partner will start working as soon as possible. Now let's go on to the extra perks for nurses on family islands. So in the beginning, I said that there is over 700 islands in Bahamas, and only 30 of them are habitable. Now out of the 30, we have some that we call family islands, and the family islands are a bit in the remote area. So if you work in a family island, you have some extra perks for yourself. Now let's listen to what happens, or the perks or the rewards or the incentives that you will get as a nurse if you work in a family island. Now the first one is a 2-bedroom accommodation. If you are a nurse and you are recruited by the Bahamian government hospital and you find yourself in a family island, you are going to get a 2-bedroom accommodation with bills paid for. Now if you still haven't decided if it is a good place to work, now let's go on to the second benefit you will get if you work in a family island, and that is transport benefit. So some locations, they will offer you a car, they will give you a car, and they will fuel the car. The God of Bahamas, locate me. And if you don't get a car, they are going to give you transport allowances. This is very good. This is so good. Now let's look at the last benefit, which is given to every nurse that works in a government hospital in Bahamas. So for example, if you are a nurse and you are recruited to Bahamas and you are working for the government, and the contract is, let's say, 2 years or 3 years, and after serving those period, you are going to get 15% bonus to say thank you for working with us for 2 years. Sometimes I think that all these things were fake, so I had to call people, send emails, go online, and I realized that these are facts, these are true. You can also do your own searches, but note that this channel will always bring you the best. So this is called a gratitude bonus, and this is 15% off your annual salary. So for example, during your entire contract you are paid $45,000, so 15% of the $45,000 is going to be $6,750. So you're going to get this as a thank you bonus. Now I understand that this is not going to come immediately after your contract because it has to go through some documentations and all, but still you're going to get your money. This is so good. I think by now you should be thinking about going to Bahamas if you're a registered nurse in Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, South Africa, Philippines, India, anywhere in the world. Even if you're in UK or the US, you can still go to Bahamas because Charlie, all these benefits are money saving benefits. Or they are not just any benefits, they are benefits that will help you gain some financial freedom. So if you're a nurse, please think again, move to Bahamas. Now let's look at the requirements to work in Bahamas. Now they have only one requirement to work as a nurse, and that is to have a BSN. Now, as at the time I was making this video, I realized that they do not accept diploma holders and they're only accepting BSN. So if you're a diploma nurse or if you're a health assistant, do not give up. Just give yourself a year or two, go and do your top-ups, get your degrees and apply to work in the Bahamas later. And that is all that you need. That is the only requirement to become a nurse in the Bahamas. You don't need IELTS, you don't need CBT, you don't need NCLEX. Charlie, what are you waiting for? Know that later in 2023, they recruited 18 nurses from Ghana. And after a successful, Ghanaian nurses, we work hard, we have all the qualities, the training, the skills, we dress nicely, we are very professional, we speak well, our English is very clear, and they recruited 18 of us in 2023. And later in 2024, they've decided to recruit 60 more nurses from Ghana. So this is what their health and wellness minister said about the 60 recruitment that they will do very soon.
Like I said before, there are shortages, particularly in specialty nurses. We have been recruiting in Ghana. We have gotten cabinet approval to bring in 60 new nurses from Ghana that will help the PHA provide clinical services and our theaters and our other essential services.
All right, so what's next? So if you are interested in this opportunity or you want to register as a nurse in Bahamas, all you have to do is to send an email to the Bahamas Nurses and Midwifery Council, and they will send you their application form. So over the weekend, I sent them an email that I am a nurse in Ghana and I want to register with their council, and they sent me this form. So we will go through the process together in the next video. We are not going to do it now. And also during the research as well, I also asked a colleague who is a nurse assistant to also send a similar email to request that he wants to become a nurse assistant in Bahamas, and up till now they have not replied the email. But if you're a diploma nurse, you can also try. You can send them an email, just state that you're a diploma nurse, you want to register as a nurse in Bahamas, and let's see the feedback that they will give you. And you can leave it in the comment section, or you can send me an email and we will also talk about it. Now if you want to get your own copy of the application form so that in the next video we fill it together, I'll drop this application form in the Telegram community where you can download, fill it with a black pen, then send it to the Bahamian NMC, and that will be it. Your registration will be complete. But before then, we will go through all the steps together and we will know how to fill this ourselves. And if you want to send an email to their NMC to request for this form yourself, I'll leave the email address of their NMC in the description. Now, so if this and many more videos is what you are interested in, why don't you subscribe to the channel now? Like the video, send it to your colleague nurses, tell them that there is a new channel that is helping nurses to find new ways to work, new ways to attend conferences, new ways to elevate their career. Sometimes we post videos that help us with our finances as well. My name is KLB. Thank you for watching. See you in the next video. Bye. I don't know if I have